Basketball season has returned.
On this episode of the Duke Nation podcast, I'm joined by former Duke point guard Daniel Ewing. Here we go.
There's no turning back now. This is what makes me. This is what I am. Feel me?
How's it going, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Duke Nation podcast. As always, I'm your host, Dan Labriola. Ryan Lohman could not make it again today, but we are not alone. On this podcast, we are joined by 2001 Mr. Basketball in Texas and three-time ACC tournament champion Daniel Ewing. Daniel, thank you so much for coming on.
It's a pleasure, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. So we're going to jump right into things here. We know you were a four-year player at Duke, improved over every year, but I want to go back to your high school days. You went to Willow Ridge High School in Texas, correct?
Yes.
And you played with TJ Ford. How did playing with a guy like him help you get better and really be more prepared to play major college basketball at Duke?
That's one of the reasons I was really comfortable with going to Duke. I knew it was going to be a lot of great other good players there. I had no problem with that because I played on a very talented high school team where I had to share the spotlight and share the ball with other good players. So besides myself and TJ, we had another D1 player who actually made it to the NBA, Ivan McFarland, played on my high school team. And Kenny Taylor, another D1 player who actually ended up transferring to Texas after 2 years. So we had a lot of talent on my team. So TJ made it easy for all of us being a pure point guard, sharing the ball, his speed, his quickness, his court vision. And like I said, playing in high school with all those guys, it didn't. I was comfortable with going to Duke and playing and competing against guys like Jay Will and Chris Duhon my freshman year.
Right. I want to get back to the recruiting a bit. So I always say on the podcast, like, Duke recently just got Trey Duval to be their point guard for this upcoming season, and we really knew a lot about his recruitment because there's so much available, so we knew it was between certain schools and really where he was leaning. But that's not really the case for when you were being recruited coming out of high school. So who recruited you, and how close were you to come to a school that wasn't Duke?
Social media and the platforms now, where social media platforms gives everybody outside of any process inside scoop on what's going on, like a la a recruiting process or maybe a free agent, NBA players free agency or whatever it may be.
Right.
So it's a lot different now. It's a lot more hoopla about it. It was always a big deal. When you're a top player, it's always a big deal to pick what school you can, but it's a lot more hype and hoopla about it. TV stuff and like I said, social media stuff, which is good for the kids. But like I said, back then, 15 years ago, it was a lot different. You was a top player. Everybody knew who you were. In that realm of the basketball, the recruiters, the writers, all that stuff. If you wanted it to be kind of like a hoopla thing, then you kind of made it that way yourself, and kind of had the people kind of put it out there. Oh, I might go here, I might go there, but I wasn't really into that. I knew the schools I wanted to go to. I knew the type of schools I wanted to go to, the type of programs I wanted to play for, and really, I almost went to Kentucky.
Really,
Kentucky was a front runner before Duke actually offered me a scholarship. And that kind of fell through the cracks with some, they kind of went in a different world. They threw it up in the air between me and another player, and at the time I wasn't ready to commit, so the other player took the offer, which worked out better for me. But also Kansas and Arizona was like my other top schools besides Duke when it really came down to it.
Who was Kentucky's coach at the time?
Tubby Smith.
That's actually that's exactly the same thing that happened with Chris Duhon. He said that he had Kentucky in his final five schools, and it was because of Tubby Smith as well. So a little parallel there. Now, you were a McDonald's All-American, and this was a pretty good All-American class in 2001. Eddie Curry, Tyson Chandler, your teammate TJ Ford, Josh Childress, David Lee, Mo Williams, and others. What was your experience like playing with so many great players really at the same age, and how did playing with them get you ready to go into Duke and play high-level major college basketball?
I mean, like I said, I have been playing with good players. Not those caliber players every day.
Right.
Like I said, my teammate was TJ. I had my teammate was All-American himself. So
Yeah.
it wasn't a surprise to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we was ranked number 2 in the country that year. So we had played against other big time schools. So I wasn't surprised about it. It was good to be in the atmosphere with all those guys. And like unlike today, where when you're All-American, all these other guys. Despite if you don't, back then it was different. So. Like, I didn't know a lot of the Nike guys because Adidas I played for Adidas AAU team. Adidas guys, there was no merge. It was you played for Adidas tournaments, and you played for Nike, you had your Nike tournaments. So I didn't know Duhon Wagner and Josh Childress. I didn't know a lot of it. Was Nike Tyson Chandler. I only knew Tyson Chandler because I played against him in AAU Nationals when we was like 13. But like I said, I didn't know a lot of these other guys who was McDonald's All-Americans prior to the McDonald's All-American game.
Yeah. So I want to know, especially with that, since you didn't really know some of those guys, what's your opinion on the package deals that go on now where you'll get, like Duke had Tyus Jones and Julius Okafor, the point guard and big man, both saying they're going to go to the same school. That really has come about in recent years. What's your opinion on that? And do you like it, or would you more just, be focused on yourself more than anything else?
I mean, I don't think it's nothing new. Like I said, for me, in my class, I think a package deal went down with the guys. It was James White, David Lee, and Kwame Brown.
Right.
I mean, it was a package deal, but I think they all kind of they saw how each other played, and they was like, hey, man, you go here, I go here. You know what I'm saying? So that was the big time. Went to the same school, and in the same year, and they was all McDonald's All-Americans. And maybe with Aaron Miles and Wayne Simien. That was, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't think, it's maybe more so, like I said, more popularized now because of social media and you get to hear about it more. But I think those kind of deals been going on for, since recruiting started. It's like I said, it's more, the fans and the people get to see and hear about it more than you would, back 10, 20 years ago. Yeah,
it's from what you're saying, more just the fact that fans have an insight onto what the recruiting process is like. And there's more articles being written about recruits, and it's really become a huge event almost to find out when kids are going to be committing and how they're committing. How did you commit? What did you call Coach K, or was it did you have like your own signing day or something like that?
It's crazy, man. Going back to your package deal thing right quick, like it was supposed to, the rumor was for me and my high school teammate that we were a package deal.
Really?
So it's been going on for a long time. It just so happened, and like we wouldn't have mind playing with each other, but it just so happened at the time the situations didn't work for the both of us. So either one school wanted me and didn't need a point guard, or vice versa. The school needed a point guard and didn't need a shooting guard. So it just didn't work out. Sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. But to answer your question, my recruiting process, like I said, I wasn't with the whole, oh man, I need everybody. You know what I'm saying? I knew the schools I wanted to go to, and I knew the ultimate school I wanted to go to was Duke. And so it's a kind of weird story. Like I said, Kentucky was the front runner way early on. Like I signed when I was a junior, so Kentucky was the front runner early on. And then, like I said, that fell through the cracks. And then I just started focusing on whoever the best schools that was going to offer me that was next. And Kansas became the next school that offered me the scholarship. So I had a conversation with Coach Williams. I told him I've been enjoying this program for a long time, and we can set up the visit for the fall. And so literally it was 2 days later, I get a call from Coach K, and that was all she wrote.
Yeah.
He offered me a scholarship on the phone. And I told him, I was like, hey man, we don't, no more discussion. I accept the offer.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a great story. The closest thing I think that we have to that is when JJ Redick committed. I think he was like a sophomore or junior when he got the offer from Duke. They knew he was a big Duke fan. And recently, Grayson Allen. He committed, I think, maybe after his sophomore year of high school. And so, I just love hearing that the passion and
It was real because, like I said, Kansas and Duke was probably my really two front runner schools I probably would have ended up at, if I didn't go to Duke. And like I said, it was literally like 2 days before I had talked to Coach Williams and told him to schedule a visit and all that. And then 2 days later, I had to have my dad call him and tell him, to tell him the news. I felt bad.
Yeah, that's what I was actually gonna ask. I was like, how'd you break the news to Roy Williams?
I couldn't, man, because I felt bad. I just talked to this man, basically gave him my word, like, hey, man, I'm gonna be there. I'm excited, and then just so the cards they was played like they was played, and like I said, I had been waiting for that offer. So
yeah, it's a tough situation, but you did wind up going to Duke, and your freshman season, you're there with Jay Will, Mike Dunleavy, Carlos Boozer, yourself, and others, and they're coming off the national title. So what was really your experience coming into that? Was it right away you walked in and it was, repeat? We have to repeat. Was it something like that?
Me, that was my mindset.
Right.
As a team, I think that was the mindset, but that was definitely the mindset. Like for me, I was like, this is a no-brainer. I'm going to a team, they're returning 5 guys, 6 guys. Maybe it was like 6 or 7 guys they was returning that was on the national championship team that actually contributed to the team, at least 5. So I'm like, man, I'm coming off 2 back-to-back high school tournaments, championships myself. So I'm like, man, this is a no-brainer. Going there, still have to work, but we should be in the Final Four easy. This repeat season, it's not easy winning a championship, but I'm like, we should be in the Final Four easy and compete championship easy. And unfortunately, the cards didn't fall our way like we thought they should. We got that was a real big upset. Like we should have lost to Indiana, but like I said, it wasn't meant for us to repeat that year. But definitely we had the talent. We had everything we needed to be a back-to-back championship team.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask about how tough was that Sweet 16 loss to Indiana. Close game, 79-78 or so?
Yeah, it came down to us, whoever made the last play, really. Like, Indiana played great. I remember Jeffries had a huge game against us, which is really what helped them get over, we didn't play so well. Jay Will didn't have his greatest game. Duhon didn't have his greatest game. I had a chance to have a big game. I missed my opportunities myself. But like I said, the ball was in our best player hands at the end of the game. Yeah. He didn't convert. He didn't convert some free throws. But he was a great free throw shooter at the time. And like I said, it wasn't our day to continue on that journey.
Right, but you guys did win the ACC tournament title that year. What was I talked to Chris Duhon about this. And I want to know your opinion on it. The fact that now amongst fans, really, they're saying, the ACC tournament, it's okay, it's nice if you win it, but it's also okay if you lose it and then rest up for the national tournament, for the NCAA tournament. What's your opinion on that kind of thinking, that it's okay to lose in the tournament?
Like you said, that's the fans' perspective.
Yeah.
At Duke, anytime you got a chance to win a championship, we going for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether it's the Maui Invitational, whatever, the Alaska Shooter, like anytime you got a chance to win a championship, we're going for it. So that's why we hang up nothing but championship banners. We don't hang up Sweet 16. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
That's just our standard, and I get it. Like I get it. Sometimes you have to look at the bigger picture. Like the year, I think it was the Justice Winslow.
Yeah.
Year.
Yeah, 2015. Yeah.
They didn't win. They didn't win the ACC tournament, but they went on it, and you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's not like they wasn't planning to win the ACC tournament. You understand what I'm saying? It just happened to work out for them that year. But I think every year we go into every season wanting to be the ACC champions in the regular season. We want to win the ACC tournament, and we want to compete for a national championship. That's
right. I always think of it in a sense that Duke teams every year try to win 3 titles: 1 preseason title, the ACC tournament title, and then the NCAA title. Would that be a good estimation of the goals of the season?
Yeah, definitely. Coach K, I think his philosophy over the years has been, hey, look, you play well during the ACC tournament, that gives you your good rhythm, good momentum going into the NCAA tournament. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
which makes sense. Granted, now it's different because there's a lot more teams in the ACC.
Yeah.
So instead of 3 days, it's 4 days now.
It is, yeah.
So, it makes it a little bit tougher, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, at the end of the day, standards are standards. Like, we're playing to win championships. So.
Right. So you guys come off that loss in the Sweet 16. You go into your next season, your sophomore year. You double your points total. You average about 6 points a game your freshman year, and then you bump it up to 12. What attribute to that? Was it more just understanding what it took to play at Duke and play college basketball, or is it like a physical change that you made maybe to your body or something?
I mean, it was more opportunity. My freshman year, I was playing behind the National Player of the Year and possibly the second best guard in the country himself, and Duhon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was, my minutes were limited, in which rightfully so, those guys had earned. They had earned it. Two great guards. So my time was limited as a freshman. My sophomore year, granted, we lose Jay Will. I got a bigger role. I got a bigger role, and I think it was just a matter of more opportunity, and like you said, and the fact that I was a year older. I understood the system. I understood what what was expected of me. So all of it went hand in hand.
Yeah. Now that team, you guys lost in the regional semifinals to Kansas, and that was a Kansas team that had Kirk Heinrich and Nick Collison. The game that you guys played, well, I think Nick Collison scored almost half of the team's points. He had 33 and 19. How difficult is it, especially as a guard, to see someone like Nick Collison just completely go off when really you held everyone else on the Kansas team in check, and I don't want to say he single-handedly beat Duke, but it was close to that.
And you gotta remember, Nick Collison was a monster in college basketball.
Absolutely.
He's a different player than he was in college than he is an NBA player. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So he was the man in college, man. So he was a load for us to handle.
Yeah.
We had a young Shelden Williams, at the time as a freshman. Casey Sanders tried. He was experienced, but like I said, Nick was just more, had more muscle, more body form.
Yeah.
And he gave us big problems. Like you said, he went to work on us that game, and like I said, it was a winnable game for us. It was a winnable game for us, and like I said, we just came short. They made the plays they needed to make to win it, and we did.
Yeah. How difficult is it to know that really you held everyone else in check? And obviously, Collison was a tremendous college player. But is it really difficult to see, you still, even though he went off, you had a chance to win that game? Is it difficult to think back on now, or at the time was it difficult?
I mean, at the time it was really difficult because we felt like we were the better team. We felt like we deserved to win. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, hats off to Kansas that year. Like they went on to go to the Final Four, which in every year, if you look at my career, every year the team we lose to, if we don't make it to the Final Four, the team we lose to in the Sweet 16, that team to the Final Four. So that's like the hump game. If you're a good team, you get past the Sweet 16, most likely you're gonna make it to the Final Four.
Right.
So it was tough. It was really tough during the time. Now I look back on it now, and I understand like Nick Collison was a hell of a player.
Right.
He answered for his team the way he was supposed to as a senior, as an upperclassman. He carried his team on his back, and that's all you can ask for as a player. As as an opponent, like I said, we did just about everything we could do to hold everybody else in check. Kirk Heinrich and those other guys, Aaron Meyer. You know what I'm saying? Like playing for. They had a really good team. They did
absolutely.
It was pretty much an even matchup. Like I said, the team that made the most plays at the end was going to win the game, and that's what happened.
Yeah. So you guys come off of that, and you go into your junior season now, and really you average about the same points per game. Shelden became more the player that we know that he became, going into his sophomore season. But you added a huge piece when you added Luol Deng. He was really the one freshman who came in that year. What kind of impact did he have on the team that season?
Big impact. He was a major addition and contributor to that team that year. Yeah. His versatility, his skills, he's really a three, but he was playing the four for us, so he had a mismatch on offense every game. Like I said, his versatility is being able to shoot, pass, and get to the basket and make plays was really a huge advantage for us.
Yeah, that Duke team went 31-6, and you guys made it to the Final Four. What was your experience like to make it to the Final Four? We'll get into the actual game in a bit, but what was it like to be able to say, you've been to the Final Four?
And that's why you go to schools like Duke. You go to schools like Duke to have a chance to play in the national championship game, to make it to Final Fours. And like that was the best. That was by far that was the best season I had. The best season for me as a Duke player in my 3 years. Like that, my junior year, when we made it to the Final Four. It's in my home state. Like everything is almost. It's almost happening to it. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, it wasn't easy though. We had our ups and downs throughout the year. But like I said, we had a great team. Everything, fit together. Like I said, Luol was a great addition. Shelden was coming to his own. JJ was coming into his own. I'm a year old. You know what I'm saying? Like Chris is last year. He's leading the team. You know what I'm saying? So we had a really good nucleus of guys and upperclassmen and young guys. So it really gelled well together.
Yeah. So now I do have to bring up the Final Four game against UConn. You guys were up by 7 at the half. What happened towards the end of that game?
7 at the half is nothing. We was up by 10 with like 2 minutes and some change to go.
Oh.
Yeah, it was man. But if you look back, the same thing happened to us in the ACC championship game that year, tournament championship game.
Yeah, I was going to say you guys didn't win the tournament title that year.
We up double digits against Maryland in the championship game, ACC tournament, and we ended up losing in overtime.
Yeah.
What happened, man? I mean, we didn't make the plays we need to make at the end. We went to a little kind of clock management type of offense, which Coach K is known for that.
Yeah. Stall ball. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing about it is you have to convert or get fouled and make free throws. When the shot clock's winding down, and we wasn't able to do that in those 2 minutes, and they was getting the rebound and going on the other end and scoring. So at the end of the game, they had all the momentum, and like I said, we still had a chance to make a play at the end, and we wasn't able to make the play.
Would you say that's one of the best Duke teams to never win a title?
Yes.
Yeah, that's easy. Absolutely.
Like if you look at that Final Four, taking nothing away from Georgia Tech, that was actually a national championship game.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely, without a doubt. And it's the sad part of it, but it's how the bracket worked out.
Yeah, that was a national championship game, believe it.
Yeah. So then your senior season. A lot went into that. What did you know about Coach K's offer from the Clippers, and how difficult was that to listen to over that summer?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we talked about it. We discussed it, and I was terrified. I was like, man, no way I come to Duke in my last year, Coach K leaves. I was like, no, this is not happening. But yeah, we had a conversation about it. He told me what was going on. I mean, he assured me that he's like, hey man, he's like, I'm not even thinking about it. I'm not going nowhere. I'll be here. I'll be here. Yeah. So that was a big relief. So once he said that, it was no more to think about. I just went in and focused on getting prepared for my senior year. But yeah, I was really nervous when I first heard about it.
Yeah. Would you have transferred for your senior season had Coach K left? You would have been immediately eligible to play since there was a coaching change. Was it something that even you thought of when you first heard, hey, Coach K might be going to the Clippers?
Hey, it would have been a real big pot. Like, I wouldn't say I would have, but it would have been really, I would really have consider it.
Yeah.
Because like I said, that's why I came to Duke to play for Coach K, and to compete and, try to win a national championship. Not taking nothing away from the assistants at the time, Wojo, Coach Dawkins, Chris Collison, who all are head coaches now.
Yeah.
But they had no head coach. You know what I'm saying? They had no head coaching experience then. So, it would have been a real tough thing to consider, man.
Yeah. So this whole summer going into your senior season was really very difficult. You guys, obviously, Chris Duhon was a senior. He wouldn't be back next year. Luol Deng leaves after his freshman year. And Shaun Livingston commits to Duke, and then decides to go to the NBA. Yeah. He obviously, you guys would have been playing together. What was that like, seeing a guy commit to Duke and then go to the draft?
I didn't think nothing of it. Like I say, he came on it. Like, I didn't know him personally. Like, he came on this visit. We met. He played pickup with us. But like I said, it's not like today's time where you probably know these guys when they get recruited through social media, and all the other stuff. I didn't know him, so I mean, when he didn't commit, it didn't bother me. I didn't think like, oh man, like we're less of a team. Like, we still had a really good team.
Right.
Myself, Jay, Shelden. We're all older. We're all upperclassmen. Sean Dockery, like Shavlik Randolph, like we still had a really good team, but we just wasn't deep. That was the only problem with that team. We didn't have a lot. We didn't have any depth, but we still had a really good 5 or 6 guys that we relied on. I mean, 6 or 7 guys.
Right. Now, I've asked everyone who's known JJ on this podcast what it's like to either know him, be friends with him, or play with him, because growing up, I'm still the biggest JJ Redick fan that you'll find. He was my guy growing up. I was young when he was there, when you guys were there. So what was it like to play with, freshman JJ Redick, and then to see junior JJ Redick averaging about 22 points per game?
I think his mentality was always the same. Like he always had he was cocky, in which plus it was good, and it was good. Like I said, it bothered me because I've always played with other good players, but he had an aura about himself, like, hey man, I know I can shoot the ball better than any. You know what I'm saying? Which is cool, and it might have got under some guy's skin, you know what I'm saying? Here and there. But his freshman year, he was just a shooter.
Right.
His year, he developed more. His junior year, he had, you knew he could shoot, but he had worked on his game. He had worked on his body. He could shot fake 1-2 dribble, pull up, shot fake 1-2 dribble, get to the basket, shot fake 1-2 dribble, make a play for somebody else.
Right.
So he had became a really dynamic player, added to the fact that he could really shoot the ball from anywhere. So he was a tough cover, and he's coming off screens every which way.
Exactly.
So he really made it easy for me, especially my senior year, because of the attention that he would draw. Then we had Shelden down low who drew his own attention. So those guys' development over the years was phenomenal.
Yeah, and now you're not the first person on this podcast to say that JJ was cocky, which is well known, but we all know how great of a player he was. But I found it interesting that your senior season, I think you averaged about 15 points a game, JJ averaged about 22, and Shelden averaged about 15 and 11. But after that, I don't think there was anyone who averaged really near double digits. Next highest was about 7 points per game. Is that really going into the depth of the team that you were saying?
Yeah, like I said, we were short-handed as far as depth. I said, Shaun Livingston not coming. That was one recruit that didn't come, but we did have DeMarcus
Nelson, yeah.
Markey, who was a freshman, and we had David McClure, who was a freshman. So that was really it was me, JJ, Sean Dockery, Shav Randolph, Shelden Williams. Then you had Lee Melchione, who was going to give us significant minutes. And you had DeMarcus Cousins. I keep saying DeMarcus.
It's all good.
Boogie Cousins is on my mind because he didn't make the All NBA team. I've been talking about this.
That's a travesty, by the way. But
DeMarcus Nelson. So that's 7 guys, and then David McClure. He got his chances here and there, but we really was only 7 deep that year.
Yeah.
And that's a tough way. I think me, Shelden, and JJ probably averaged 35 plus minutes that year. It was crazy. We was logging some heavy minutes, but we had to. We young, but that's what we had to do to make it work.
Yeah, exactly. Now, you guys still, after all that, make it to the Sweet 16, and it's in Austin, Texas, right around where you're from, and you guys played the 15 seed Michigan State. How tough was it to end your Duke career at home and to a 15 seed team?
Michigan State. They was a what seed?
15.
No way.
Really? Unless Wikipedia is lying to me, then yeah.
No, that's got to be incorrect. But that's got to be incorrect. But like I said, that was tough. It was tough being that I was in Austin.
Yeah.
My last year, I'm a senior, which was the last time as a high school player. That was the last place I played in winning the high school championship. So it was a lot going on. It was a lot of history there. But we had played Michigan State earlier in the year in the ACC Big Ten Challenge at Duke, at Cameron. And it was a good game, but, we got the W. And I think the biggest thing for us was that they had already played us, so they was familiar. And the fact that the big thing was we didn't have Sean Dockery.
Right.
So that was we didn't have Sean, and that really, like I said, we was already limited in depth. And I mean, they put everybody they could on me to hound me the whole game because I was basically the primary ball handler. So,
Right.
like I said, and that slowed us up, but we still had a chance to win that game. You know what I'm saying? Like I get a steal and hit a three, and I think I cut it to maybe a one possession game, and coach tried to get the timeout, and we don't get the timeout.
Yeah.
That kind of it was kind of history from there, but.
Yeah,
it was tough. It's tough, man, when you only got 7 guys and you're trying to compete against other good teams. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I said, hats off to them. Like I said, every team that beats us in the Sweet 16 during my career, they go on to go to the Final Four. So I believe if we get over those hump games and all the 3 years I didn't make it to the Final Four, I'm playing in the Final Four. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
More than I did.
Yeah. Now it's obviously tough to end your career like that. But then you have to start getting ready for the NBA draft. What was that like? What were the workouts like? And did you think you were gonna get drafted first round, second round, and by who?
I did thought I was sneaking to the first round, but not sneak. I thought I was the first round. I thought I was first round caliber player.
Yeah.
That was just my mindset. I played against all the guys in the ACC that year. Yeah, Chris Paul. Jerry Jack, there's a lot of good guards. Julius Hodge, you know what I'm saying? I'm going against all those guys, and if I didn't play Barry, I was right there with it. Raymond Felton,
Yeah.
I was like, I'm a first round type player. So that was my mindset going in. But the process was just getting after the season ended that year was working out with Coach Dawkins a lot, doing individual work. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to get myself ready. For what I might, encounter in these NBA workouts.
Right. So, what was that call like on draft night? You hear that 32nd pick, I believe it was, 32nd pick, so second pick in the second round, that you were drafted by the Clippers. What was that experience like? What was it like to get that phone call?
Man, it was unexplainable, man. I just remember, I had a lot of family and friends over. I had a news team, a local news team at the house, covering everything. And man, it was special. Like, it's a dream come true when you achieve something like that, a childhood dream, and then for it to come true, regardless of whether it was first round or second round. Like, to get that call and say, hey man, we want to select you to be a part of our organization. It was a really big moment for me and my family.
Right. So I mean, like you hear a lot of people like, it's an honor, even just to be drafted, that kind of thing. So after 2 seasons, though, the Clippers they did waive you. Then at the time, though, there was no D League, correct?
It was a D League, but
D-League?
it
wasn't what it
just,
is now.
It had just been created, whatever. But it was a D League at the time.
If the D League were kind of like it is now, where you see guys, Seth Curry, Quinn Cook, a lot of other guys who really made a career there and then have gotten back into the NBA, would you have strongly considered that more than playing overseas?
Yeah. I mean, definitely. Even now, looking back on it, I wish I would have had been forced to play in the D League when I was in the NBA because I wasn't playing a lot.
Right.
So I was on the Clippers for 2 years, and I suited up every game.
Yeah.
Granted, I didn't play in every game, and I wasn't playing a lot of minutes, and you know what I'm saying, in 90% of the games.
Yeah.
So as a young player who needed to develop, especially saying I need to be a point guard, I needed that chance to go down in D League and work on that. You know what I'm saying? Work on that. But that's one thing I wish would have happened for me. So I could get more of a game experience at possibly being a point guard, which I wasn't at the time.
No.
So that wasn't his move. Like, saying I wasn't a point guard at the time was obvious. Like, I've been playing off the ball my whole career. I just played point guard 1 year at Duke. Like, so that wasn't like a break. Like, that wasn't a genius to say, Daniel Ewing's not a point guard. Like, no duh. Like, however, whatever it is, I got labeled. I got stuck with that label. Like, he's not a point, he's not a 2-point. Whatever.
Right.
I just at the time I had looking back on it that I would have had a chance to maybe get a little bit more experience playing in the D League, playing the point guard, running the playing with professional players, trying to sharpen that skill.
Yeah. Right now, but that wasn't the case. Instead, I want to get this right here, so I'm just gonna look at it. You signed with the team in Russia, and then after that you went to Poland, the Ukraine, Turkey, France, Lithuania, Israel, and now back to Lithuania. How difficult is it to play almost each year on 1 year contracts, knowing that the next year you're gonna have to find somewhere else to play, and it full well could be in a completely different country?
Well, it was only like that. So when I signed in Russia the first year, which reason I didn't after I got released from the Clippers, the reason why I didn't pursue playing for a D League team or even going to training camp, because I got offered a huge contract to go play overseas, which would have been way more money than I was making, on any NBA contract at the time. So I took advantage of that, thinking okay, I'm gonna go over here and I knew nothing about overseas, nothing. So I took that opportunity to say, hey man, I'm gonna go make this money. I'll play well. Hopefully, try to dominate and show these people, show NBA scouts, hey man, I can play the point guard. Which ever since I left the NBA, I've been playing the point guard. So show these guys I can play point. And like I said, I'm thinking this is just gonna be a quick turnaround. Like, hey, you go over here, you run the show, you do your thing, and you know what I'm saying? You come right to the NBA, have a shot again.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was the case. But like I said, I went to Russia on a 2-year deal.
Right.
Just so something didn't work. It didn't work out after the first year, and so me and the team decided to go in a different direction. Then I went to Poland. I played there for 3 years.
Right.
And then in the Ukraine, it was a 2-year deal with an option. And I said, after that first year, I was like, no way I could go back to that situation. And then after that, it's been 1-year deals, except for the year in France. My first year in France, I played the last 2 years. My first year there with the first team I was with, it was another 2-year deal with an option, an option. So, and it didn't work out. So, but yeah, it's tough. It's tough changing. It's tough, man. It's tough changing countries year to year. It's almost like it's not really like a journeyman in the NBA. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I'm like a journeyman in the NBA. More so, he's like the 8th, 9th, 10th guy on the team.
Right.
He maybe played, some games where he's played well, played in the playoffs, so he has a good, he has a good resume, and people were like, hey man, he's a good teammate, he's a good guy, he works hard, he's good for your team. And, each year he jumps here I'm playing each year, I'm like a main guy on each team, so I can still go out, and each year I'm playing and show people can see, okay, he still can play, even though he's getting older, so it's tough, but it's a little different than kind of how you might have thought about it.
Right. Now, we hear a lot about, obviously how big teammate camaraderie is, and just for the overall success of a team. How difficult is it to really have that camaraderie or get that camaraderie when you're playing with? I understand it's been different teams in a while, but really to have a successful team, because you have different coaches with different playing styles and philosophies and different schemes. And then you have different teammates almost, every few years or so. How difficult is it to really have a winning culture like that?
It's difficult, but it's not, because basketball is universal.
Right.
Universal, like the language, even though the language, the concepts, like I said, different coaches might have different, different concepts and different strategies of how they do things, but at the end of the day, it's universal. Like if you have a good IQ, you know the game well enough, you're gonna pick up on the difference than what you're used to. But like I said, as far as building that camaraderie and that chemistry, it's what you do when you play for a team sport. That's each year. Even if you with the same guys, each year is different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So even if you're bringing back half of your team, what you did last year, you have the same relationship, but that chemistry might not be the same depending on X, Y, and Z, injuries. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
For this, but this year with the Duke team, with all that was going on, they had a lot of guys back.
Yeah.
Coach K going out, Grayson Allen, all that stuff.
Yeah.
It disrupted their chemistry.
Right.
So despite them having a core group of guys coming back, all the stuff that happened during the season disrupted the chemistry and the flow that the guys really needed to really become a great team. And like I said, it's like each year is different, but each year is the same. Because you have to build that. You have to build it. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of the team or who's here, who's not, you have to build that. It's going to be different each year. You have to build on it.
Right. Now, one last question before we get to the speed round of a bunch of quick, fun questions. You're 34 right now. Do you have any idea of retirement coming up? And if so, where are you going to reside? Because you've been in so many countries. You're going to come back to the States or stay overseas?
Of course, I can't. No, I live in Houston in all season. Where I grew up at. So
yeah.
I have a home there. My family's back there. My wife and my 2 sons. So I definitely reside in the States. As far as retirement, man, I have a good a couple more years left. I'm not the type of player that I don't want to play till I can't play no more. Like that's not me. That's just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to be able to play, and still be productive and contribute to my team as long as I can. And when I feel like I can't do that, then I think it'll be time for me to hang it up.
All right, so now we're going to get to the Duke Nation speed rounds, a bunch of random questions that really have nothing to do with each other. Are you ready to go?
Do it.
All right. Who was the hardest player that you ever had to guard in either a practice or a game?
Will.
Easy. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
You got 2 buns and a piece of meat. Is it a sandwich?
Is it?
It's a hot dog is a hot dog.
Awesome. Now, if you get a hot dog, mustard, ketchup, or both?
Both.
Both. Okay. Let's say you're ordering buffalo wings, boneless or on the bone?
You know what? I'm typically on the bone, but lately I've been doing boneless lately.
I found myself doing that too, and I understand the whole. I personally say, it's just chicken nuggets because it really is. But if it's got buffalo sauce on it, I don't know.
Yeah. Lately, like when I do wings, if I'm getting them from Wingstop, I do boneless lately.
Yeah.
It's less work.
Exact. That's the rationale for everyone who gets boneless. Is it's not enough work. It's less work. All right. Now you're getting a drink: Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Great answer. Okay. So I'm Coke over Pepsi every day of the week.
The Coke to me just tastes better for some reason. I'm
Absolutely.
not a big soda drinker anyway, but if I'm gonna have a soda, I'm gonna drink Coke.
Love it. All right, let's say we put your iTunes music on shuffle. What's the most embarrassing song that's gonna come up? Embarrassing. Yeah, I'm talking like Taylor Swift. I'm talking One Direction kind of thing. What's coming up?
I don't know, man. Maybe a little Bow Wow song or something. Like something. It's kind of
oh man.
That's probably.
All right, now I've asked everyone this. If you could have gone pro in any other sport, what sport would it have been and why?
Football.
Why?
I grew up in Texas.
Grew up in Texas,
state.
Yeah.
I was, not to toot my own home, but I was pretty good football player growing up. I quit. I didn't quit. I decided not to play anymore once I got to high school. So we don't know where that would have, what really would have happened. But I think I would have been. I think I could have made it pro in football. If I had concentrated on that as well.
What position?
Quarterback.
Really? Okay. All right. So let's see. On the football topic, if you could describe Tom Brady in one word or an acronym, what would it be?
Go.
Love it. Perfect. We can just stop after that. All right. Favorite TV show of all time?
Favorite TV show of all time? Man. Ooh. I have to say Martin.
Chris Duhon said the same thing. He said the exact same thing. He was like, Martin. I was like, okay. I'm like, there you go. All right.
Gotta be Martin.
Yep. All right. In honor of my finals just finishing up, what was the hardest class that you had to take at Duke?
The hardest class I had to take.
We've had some interesting answers. Reggie Love said intro to jazz, which I thought was hilarious, and Chris Duhon said calculus.
Okay, we was in the same class.
Okay.
I think it was me, him, and JJ, and we all struggled, like really bad. We struggled.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say, since Chris said that, I'm gonna say I had this class that was like it was like a hip hop It was a hip hop class, but it had nothing. It was correlated to African American studies.
Right.
Man, this class was nothing like. I think everybody in the class was thrown off by like when the class started and the introduction and work. Like we was like, what? Like this is not what we expected. Like the class was way difficult than what you thought it would have been. So I'm going to say that class. All
right, now last one. Who's your all-time Duke starting five? You can include yourself.
I won't do that.
You get sixth man.
All-time Duke starting five. That's tough, man. Ooh.
Yeah.
All right, I got it. I'm gonna go Bob Hurley.
Love it.
J. Will at the 2.
Ooh.
Yeah. Grant Hill.
Okay.
Christian Laettner. Am I forgetting somebody? Let me see.
You need a 5. Tough. You need a 5. You need a center.
I gotta start over.
Okay. All right.
My center. I just had to. Christian Laettner was my center.
Okay.
Tough, man. All right, so I'm gonna go. Grant Hill and Christian Laettner is on there for sure.
Absolutely.
I can't not put. Okay, Johnny Dawkins is in there for sure.
Okay, so we got 3.
3.
Okay. That's tough. If you're going with the rest of it, then you got a guard heavy starting lineup.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I left off Johnny Dawkins. I mean, I forgot about Johnny initially because I was like, well, who's been the greatest 2 guard? And I wasn't thinking of Johnny, so that's why I put Will at the 2.
Yeah.
Gotta go with Johnny at the 2.
Now, so then, who's your point guard? Is it? It seems like this is the issue that everyone has. Is it J. Will or is it Bobby Hurley?
Bob Hurley, Christian Laettner, and Grant Hill is the reason. Like I fell in love with Duke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
But I played with J. Will.
Yeah.
And I know for sure what he can do with the basketball. You know what I'm saying? So, man, it's tough, man. If I'm just putting the pure talent. I'm gonna go J. Will. If I'm just putting together pure talent, I'm gonna go J. Will, JD, G. Hill, C. Laettner, and my 4 position. I guess you gotta go with Danny Ferry.
Oh, I like that. I like that answer. I'm used to getting the Shane Battier answer. That's usually a lot of the ones at the 4.
You know, it's crazy. Like that slipped my mind too.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm gonna pay homage to the guy. I'm gonna pay homage to the guys that started it all. So I'm gonna go with JD and Danny Ferry.
I love it. All right. So that's gonna be it. Do you have anything that you want to say to Duke fans before we sign off?
No, man. I appreciate the love over the years. Hopefully, I can get back to Durham and reconnect with everybody. I haven't been back in a while, so hopefully I can get back and reconnect and enjoy Durham again.
Love it. All right. Thank you so much for being on. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate you, man. Thanks.
All right. And that'll be it for the Duke Nation podcast. We'll catch you guys next time.